Play something for us, little one, the millionaire mocked. And if you truly impress me, perhaps I'll adopt you. Followed by echoing laughter that stabbed at the girl's heart. The night was dazzling. A grand ballroom shimmered beneath golden chandeliers, their lights scattering diamonds of brilliance across polished marble floors. Laughter rippled through the air, mingling with the clink of glasses and the soft notes of a string quartet. Wealth and power filled every corner of the room. But in the far end, almost hidden from sight, stood a small girl, thin, fragile, 7 years old. Her hands trembled as they hovered above the glossy keys of a grand piano. Her dress was plain, faded from too many washes. Her shoes were scuffed, almost too small for her feet. But her eyes glowed with something different. Not fear, not shame, something fiercer. A quiet determination that cut through the grandeur around her. The wealthy guests whispered and chuckled. To them, she was an odd sight, like a stray cat lost in a palace. And then came the booming voice of the host. Hello, family. Before we continue, I have a small but heartfelt request. Please subscribe. Your support is what keeps these stories alive. Every time you click that button, you're helping us share voices that would otherwise be forgotten and stories that deserve to be heard. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from and how this touched you. Damian Cole, the millionaire, tall, confident. His tailored suit fit him like it was stitched from arrogance itself. He raised his glass, smirk curling at the corner of his lips. Play something for us, little one, he mocked. And if you truly impress me, perhaps I'll adopt you. The room erupted with laughter. A cruel, echoing laughter that stabbed at the girl's heart. But to her, it wasn't a joke. Those words weren't a tease. They were a doorway, a chance, however small, to escape the life she had been trapped in. Her name was Alina, just 7 years old, yet she had already carried more pain than most could endure in a lifetime. Abandoned as a toddler, shuffled from one foster home to another. Hunger, neglect, and loneliness had been her only companions. Her only escape had been music. In one of the orphanages, tucked away in a dusty corner filled with broken toys and forgotten furniture, she had discovered an old piano. Its paint was chipped, its keys yellowed and uneven. But when her tiny fingers pressed against them, a sound, shaky, imperfect, but beautiful, rose into the silence. And in that moment, she found her language. A way to speak without words. A way to release the feelings that burned in her small chest, sadness, longing, and fragile hope. Now, standing in this glittering ballroom, she wondered if she even deserved to sit before the shining black piano under the chandelier's glow. Damian Cole leaned back in his chair, his smirk widening. He loved games like this. He loved showing his power. To him, Alina was just another spectacle to amuse his wealthy friends. But Alina didn't see mockery. She saw a chance. And her heart whispered, "Don't waste it." Her fingers lowered onto the keys. At first, they stumbled. A wrong note slipped, sharp and awkward. Laughter burst from the crowd. Damian chuckled, sipping his wine. But then Alina closed her eyes. She shut out the glittering chandeliers, the judgmental eyes, the cruel chuckles. And in her mind, she returned to the orphanage. To the nights when she practiced by moonlight. To the times when the nuns scolded her for playing too long, yet couldn't hide the soft smiles her music brought. And she let her heart lead. The melody that flowed wasn't from sheet music. It wasn't something taught. It was raw, untamed. A song born from loneliness, longing, and the stubborn spark of hope that refused to die. The ballroom grew quiet. The laughter faded. One by one, the guests stopped whispering, stopped mocking, and turned toward the little girl whose music carried more power than wealth ever could. Her small body swayed with the rhythm. Her closed eyes shimmered as if she was lost in a world far from theirs. And though her playing wasn't perfect, with missed notes and uneven rhythms, every sound was drenched in truth. Damian's smirk faltered. For the first time in years, something stirred inside him. He leaned forward, unable to look away. He had buried those feelings long ago, when his mother, the only person who ever played piano for him, had passed away. He had locked away that pain and replaced it with wealth, pride, and arrogance. But Alina's music cracked the walls he had built. When the last note hung in the air, silence spread through the ballroom like a spell. No one clapped. No one breathed. Alina slowly opened her eyes. She looked directly at Damian, and in that gaze, she was no longer a trembling orphan. She was a brave soul demanding to be seen. Damian's throat tightened. He wanted to laugh, to dismiss her, to regain his pride. But no words came. Instead, he rose to his feet. The guests erupted in thunderous applause, but Damian barely heard them. His eyes never left the girl standing by the piano. Alina stood motionless, her small hands resting on the keys, her chest rising and falling quickly. She waited. For him. For his answer. The crowd expected another cruel joke. They expected him to toss out a witty remark and end the night with laughter. But Damian wasn't laughing. For the first time in his life, the emptiness of his wealth pressed against him like a weight. He had money, power, and influence, yet nothing real. No warmth, no family. And here was this fragile girl, who had reminded him of something he had forgotten. The beauty of love, of pain, of hope. Alina's heart pounded. Did he mean the words he had spoken? Was he really going to keep his promise? Damian walked forward, each step heavy with a pride that was crumbling into dust. He stopped before her. Then he knelt, lowering himself so his eyes met hers. "You've given me something no fortune could ever buy," he whispered, voice breaking. "From this day forward, you are not alone." Tears blurred Alina's vision. She wanted to believe him. For the first time, she allowed herself to. The applause thundered. But in that moment, the world had shrunk to just the two of them. Damian reached out, gently wrapping his arms around her. Alina clung to him, terrified he might disappear if she let go. The story did not end there. Adoption is never easy. It demanded paperwork, time, patience, and a commitment that stretched beyond promises. Damian faced ridicule. His business partners whispered that he had grown soft. His friends mocked his sudden change of heart. But he didn't care. For the first time, his life had a purpose beyond numbers in a bank account. Alina, too, carried scars. She flinched at sudden noises. She struggled to trust that her place was permanent. Nights were filled with fears that one morning she would wake up abandoned again. But slowly, day by day, she began to heal. Damian never missed her recitals. He sat by the piano, fumbling over keys, making her laugh until tears rolled down her cheeks. He filled the empty spaces of her life with love, patience, and steady reassurance. And in return, Alina gave him something he had never truly known: family. Months became years. The bond between them grew unbreakable. Damian discovered that true wealth was not measured in dollars, deals, or diamonds. It was measured in the love you give, in the hearts you heal, and in the lives you touch. Alina discovered that even broken hearts can be mended, that even the loneliest souls can find family in the most unexpected places. Together, they built a new story, one of hope, redemption, and music that would echo through their lives forever. So if this story touched your heart, take a moment to share it with someone who believes in kindness, because no act of compassion is ever wasted. And if you believe that love can change lives, leave these words in the comments. Love always wins, because in the end, that's what Alina and Damian proved. No matter how broken the past, no matter how cold the world may seem, love has the power to rewrite destinies.